I'm Olivia Warwick, 46, the woman who kept the Warwick name shining while they polished their egos. From the street, the Lakeview Manor Gala screamed legacy, soaring ceilings, candlelight flickering off silver, toasts that rang like money. Inside, I knew every fault line, who swallowed insults with wine, whose laugh hid knives. My mother-in-law, Beatrice, conducted every emotion in the room. My father-in-law, Edmund, buried discomfort in his plate. Husband Julian checked fantasy football under the table. Sister-in-law Nora sipped rose with a satisfied gleam, like she'd scripted this exact humiliation. I'd single-handedly revived Edmund's struggling packaging empire after supply chain chaos. 16 months of sleepless nights, supplier showdowns in Shanghai, workforce restructures that preserved 350 jobs. I'd covered the family's lake house taxes when offshore accounts tanked. I'd bankrolled Nora's failing jewelry line for 4 seasons. All invisible, all unacknowledged, because devotion, I believed, was its own reward. Beatrice loved proclaiming, "A Warwick woman carries the torch." She just made sure I was the only one holding it while everyone else warmed their hands. When she relegated me to staff, the torch finally burned my palm. I unhooked the necklace, his anniversary gift, selected more for Instagram than intimacy, and let it sink into his bubbling flute. "Then I'm no longer a Warwick," I said, words slicing through the hush. The orchestra faltered. Julian's grin evaporated. Beatrice's champagne glass trembled. I walked out past murmured phones and widened eyes, heels marking time like a metronome. On the dark drive home along Lake Shore, city skyline glittering like broken promises, the weight lifted. Not rage yet, but the pure, sharp relief of truth. They'd just gifted me the freedom to stop pretending. I'd felt the fracture coming in the microaggressions. Julian dismissing my crisis firm as your side hustle, Beatrice introducing me as Julian's wife, who tinkers with numbers, while flashing the sapphire bracelet I'd bought after wiping their debt. The night I overheard Julian on speaker. The support lanyard at the gala will finally put her in her lane. Beatrice's delighted cackle. Perfect. Even the smartest help should stay backstage. I'd already assembled the arsenal. Years of spotting irregularities in Julian's hedge fund, private flights logged as due diligence, art purchases buried in operating expenses, offshore transfers that reeked of someone else's perfume. I'd documented everything in a drive labeled safeguard. While they rehearsed my demotion, I rehearsed their downfall. The morning after, I sent the whistleblower dossier, anonymous, ironclad, to regulators, the board, and key LPs. By lunch, Julian's access was revoked. By evening, the fund unraveled under scrutiny. By month's end, the Warwick name was toxic in Chicago finance. Nora appeared at my New River North office 4 months later, coat unbranded, eyes raw. "I walked," she said, offering coffee. We sat on the floor amid moving boxes, watching rain streak the windows. She admitted how Beatrice tried to chain her with reputation, how the gala became infamous, the night the Warwicks learned gratitude isn't optional. Warwick Revival Partners exploded, specializing in manufacturing rescues across the Rust Belt. Clients flew in from Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, places that still believed in making things. They wanted results, not resumes. Julian's dissent was silent. Partnerships dissolved, assets clawed back to crashing on friends' couches. Beatrice lost the Gold Coast penthouse, the charity boards, the circle that once curtsied. Last rumor. Clipping coupons in a suburb no one visits. Some evenings I pace my quiet office, city humming below. On the wall, professionally mounted, hangs the event support, back of house lanyard, my proudest scar. Visitors always ask. I smile. They tried to banish me backstage. Turns out the wings have the best view of the exit. That missing chair wasn't rejection. It was release. I sit only at tables I build, surrounded by people who value the builder, not just the building. If you've ever been sidelined in your own story, type, "I'm taking my seat back" below. Like, subscribe. These stories of reclaiming power might hand you the keys to yours.